These guineas are noisy. I don't know if you can see them right up there by the fort, up on the handrail. Get out of here, guineas. They make good guard dogs. Hey everyone, Mike here, TYM and Homestead. A little while back I made a video about the 8 things that I didn't really care for about Tiny the TYM 2515H. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it right up here. So in that video, one of the things that I didn't really care for on this machine that I wanted was armrest. Now when I got this machine, I told the salesman that I wanted that option to have armrest added to it. He told me that armrests were not an option for this machine and they didn't offer anything. I should have did my own research into the matter and seen for myself, because it is fairly common that salesmen really don't know everything there is about these machines. They should know sometimes more than they do, but at the end of the day, their job is just to sell you a machine. So it's no fault of the salesman's. But luckily, I had a viewer reach out by the name of Paul, and he left a comment on that video saying that he was able to add armrest to his 2515H and asked if I wanted the information so I could order them for Tiny. So he did email me all the information and all the information you could find on the TYM website. So Paul, thank you for that information. I really appreciate it. So I got to do some digging and online searches for these armrests. When I searched the part number, it kept bringing up Bad Boy tractors, which TYM does make Bad Boy tractors, so I'm sure there is a lot of compatible parts between the machines. And I'm sure if I ordered the ones that were spec'd for the Bad Boy, that it would have been just fine for Tiny. But what I ended up doing was going on TYM's website and doing a parts search. And I basically just filled out a form that had all my information in it, the closest dealer I had, and the part number of the parts that I was looking for. And I guess the way that works is that gets sent out to multiple dealers or multiple distributors for these kind of parts. So I had a guy named Eric from agequipmenthub.com out of Georgia reach out to me, and he said, hey, we have this armrest kit in stock. It's $118. If you want it, we can ship it out today. So I thought, awesome, that's great. Yeah, let's send me whatever I need to pay for the armrest kit, and let's get this thing coming. So he sent me a link. I was able to use Google Pay, and that same day he sent me an invoice with a tracking number on it, and the armrest kit was on its way. So huge thank you to Eric at Ag Equipment Hub for making this a painless, easy transaction. This is not sponsored. They didn't know I was going to make a video on it or anything like that. So I paid full price for it. It was right around $118 shipped to my door. So that's what we're going to be installing today is armrest on Tiny. So if you're curious on the part number, that is the part number, the one that starts with the T. And you can see this is Branson genuine OEM parts. So I'm excited to get these on there. I really feel that this is going to make this machine a whole lot more comfortable. I know there's some people out there that kind of whine and say that these machines don't need them, yada yada and all that. But if you spend any amount of time on your machine, you want to make it as comfortable as possible. And armrests are going to do that. So let's get back over here on Tiny and let's get these armrests installed. Something I've noticed on Tiny is occasionally I get a little wet streak coming down through here and around the rim where it looks like the rim guard is leaking. Now it does it on both sides, and it doesn't do it every time I move it. Just occasionally when I do, I get a little bit coming out. Have any of y'all ever ran into that with your loaded tires? Okay, so let's see exactly what comes in here besides the armrest, because it does look like it comes with all the nuts, and these are supposed to be a direct bolt-on for this machine. So there's the first armrest. It's got 3 holes, got your adjustment lever right down here to set the height of them. They should fold up, and they do. Okay, let's look at the other one. Okay, here's the other one. This looks like it's going to be the right-hand side of the seat. This one's got 2 holes instead of 3. Same adjustment arm underneath. Everything looks good for these. Really excited about these. And the last thing that's in the bag, looks like it comes with the nuts. So we've got 5 nuts here, which makes sense because one of the armrests has 2 and the other one's got 3. Looks like the one with 2 are larger nuts and the side with 3 is a little bit smaller. So that is pretty nice that that kit comes with everything you need to install armrest on your 2515. So you can see here on the left hand side of the operator station, there is a cover right here that looks like we're just going to have to take a knife or whatever and cut this out so that armrest can come up through there. And for removal of this cover, on the inside by the seat, there's a Phillips headed screw right here that we're gonna have to pull out. Right hand side is the same way. You've got a little Phillips headed screw right there and the perforated cover up on the top side. So let's get a Phillips screwdriver and get these covers popped off. Okay, let's get this Phillips out. Okay, that's the screw. Looks like it is a little self-tapping Phillips headed screw. So once it screws out, this cover just kind of pops off. It's got little tabs here on the back side that hook around the back side of this mechanism, and then the front side. Okay, there's the cover. We got to cut that out. You could probably use a little zip disc if you had a little die grinder or something like that. You cut this out. The plastic isn't the entire thickness of this. It looks like it's about half, so a good sharp knife should cut this just fine, or a razor blade. You probably should wear some sort of cut resistant gloves when you're cutting something like this, but let's see how it cuts. Okay, actually cutting pretty easy. Okay, that's all there is to it. Cuts real easy. Okay, now the nuts that they include are a locking nut, and the 3 that go on the left hand side of the seat are a 13 millimeter. So installs as easy as taking the armrest and lining up on these 3 studs here on the left hand side of the seat. Okay, let's get these tightened up. Okay, the left armrest is installed. Let's go ahead and get the plastic cover and get it put back on. Okay, here's the cover for this side. Now remember, it's got these little tabs right over here that's going to hook around this frame. And then this front part here is going to fit around the front part of this frame. Okay, that's in place. Let's get our screw put in. Okay, I'm going to try to reach through from this side because I want to see what I'm doing. I don't want to drop this thing. Okay, that's in. Now the same thing for the right hand side. It's got that 1 screw. Let's get it taken out. Okay, there's that screw. Same deal, Phillip headed little small self-tapping screw. Now this side does have the seat belt. Pull some slack out of it. Just see how this one comes off. Okay, so let's get the right-handed armrest put on. All right, so here on the right-hand side of the seat, same deal. You've got these locking nuts. They've got a little blade here on both sides of it. It takes a 16 millimeter to fit this side on the right-hand side. Okay, now we do have a larger hole. It looks like there is a spacer grommet down here that's metal, where the top one doesn't have that. So, okay, well, let's see if it fits this way. And it does not. Okay, so, you guys can see the cup holder is in the way to put the armrest on this side. So, we're going to go ahead. Let me see what size these are, and let's get this cup holder removed. So that's just a little information. If your cup holder's on the right-hand side mounted like this one, the armrest is not going to fit. Now I'd rather have a armrest on the seat. I can find another solution for a cup holder at some point, but for now the cup holder's coming off. Okay, let's get this removed. Now these ROPS bolts are a 19 millimeter. If you don't have a 19, 3/4 inch is the same size, so you can use that if you need to. Okay. There's the cup holder. I might figure out what to do with it. I'll put it here on the back side or do away with it. I really like having the cup holder, so I guess maybe I just put it here on the back side. That's probably okay. I don't know. I really don't care for it hanging off the back side here like that. It's better than nothing. I don't know. Is there a good universal cup holder that any of y'all use for your tractor or anything like that? If there is, leave it in the comment down below so I can check it out. I'm going to go ahead, after I tighten this up, I'm going to see if that cup holder will fit on the other side or if it interferes with the armrest as well. And if it does, then we may go ahead and just toss it on the back for now until I can come up with something else. So I do use the cup holder quite a bit. When I'm out in the pasture, I'll normally have a bottle of water or my cup in it. Should probably use a 1/2 inch ratchet. Keep you from destroying your 3/8 drives. I blew the guts out of this ratchet. I couldn't tell you how many times, but it is snap-on, so anytime that happened, I'd just give it to them on the truck and they'd put a new kit in it. All right, cup holder's gone. Let's get this other armrest installed. Okay, so now we don't have any interference. Get this thing pushed up on here. And let's get one of our nuts installed. And the other one. Make sure this is on there how it should be. Always heard cross thread is better than no threads, but let's see if we can get it on straight. Unless there's just something on the threads that's boogered, which is possible. trying to feel the, there we go. Sometimes if you have a hard time, just turn it the opposite way, then you can feel it click down into that thread. So we got it on straight now. Let's go ahead and get these tight. Okay, those are tight. Okay, let's take our knife and cut these 5 little tabs off. Just want to be real careful, not cut yourself. There's that one and the last one. Now let's get this thing popped on where it goes. Okay, that looks about where it needs to go. Let's get the screw put in here. You can see the hole. Okay, it's lined up there. Let's get this put together. All right, those dudes are installed. Now that is a little bit of a bummer about the cup holder, so I do think I'm going to go ahead and take it and install it on the back side of the ROPS on the it'd be the left-hand side of the machine, just so I can figure something else out. So I know these machines come with cup holders. I've seen them come on the left side and the right side. I think it's just kind of dependent where they get installed at the factory or the dealership. I don't know who exactly installs that. I would say probably the dealership. That's probably why there's such variation in where the location they're being installed at. But regardless, either side, I did hold it up here a minute ago. It still won't fit on this side with the armrest. These really need anti-seize on them. I don't have any here. So this is going to be what they get for now. When I go to do the first service on it, I'll try to remember. Take these back out. I'll probably take all 8 of them out and anti-seize them. All right, well, cup holder's installed. Not the hugest fan of the location of it. It seems like it does just stick out kind of behind everything a little far. Pretend the backhoe's not on here and you've got something else. You've just got that hanging out by itself. I put it on this side just because all the remotes and everything come out at an angle over here. And if you had the cup holder over here, I think that would just make more of a mess, more in the way than putting it on this side. Backhoe seat does still clear. It's got plenty of room in between it. So, something to keep in mind. Okay, so the cup holder is not really the point of the video. The armrests are. So now that they're installed, let's check them out. So you can see on the bottom of the armrest, they've got this little roller. And what that does, if you watch right down here, it's going to thread that down there. And down here, if you can see, there's a little metal stop. This will adjust the height of your armrest. So you can see where it's at right here. Let's pick it up a little bit. Run it down as far as we can. Now there's the height. But that's too low for me, so we're going to adjust them up a little bit. That looks close. So that is something that is nice about these armrests. They are customizable to fit your body type and to make you more comfortable. It's a very simple install. The only pain was having to relocate the cup holder for this machine. That's okay. Rather have the armrest anyway. So again, I do want to thank Paul for kind of throwing the flag out and saying, no, that's wrong. This is something I'm glad I was wrong about. Because again, at the dealership, the salesman, I did ask him if this was an option. He told me it wasn't. He was false. I should have did my own homework and not relied on the salesman. I knew better. I've worked in the field of industrial and agricultural equipment for over a decade. I know how some salesmen are. Some of them are just worried about the sale. I'm not saying this guy was. He just wasn't as informed as he should have been. But it's one of those things, trust but verify. Do your own homework and check for yourself on this kind of thing. And a huge thank you to Eric at Ag Equipment Hub. He made getting the parts, the transaction, the shipping, everything super simple and painless. He was the only person that reached out back to me whenever I was looking for this part. So thanks again. So everyone, I know this was a simple install. I wasn't sure if there was any other people out there that were looking for armrests for their 2515 or 3515 or whatever, and their salesman told them that that wasn't an option. So if that's you, no, they were wrong, and yes, you can get them for this machine. So do you think armrest on tractors should be a standard thing? Do you think it really doesn't matter if they're on there, if they're not on there? Let me know, leave a comment. I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. If you enjoyed the video, give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.